In celebration of Juneteenth weekend, join us for the 4th Annual Black Ink Book Festival and Black Ink Short Film premiere in New Orleans, Louisiana on Saturday, June 20th, 2026 at City Park's Pavilion of the Two Sisters from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Meet new authors in all genres, enjoy speakers, live readings in the Botanical Gardens, and win prizes. Registration is now open. Author exhibit booths and sponsorship opportunities are available. To learn more, visit www.blackwritersworkspace.com/BLK INK Book Festival. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hello, everybody. It's Michelle Jackson. I am here with a pen posse, a special pen posse podcast. We are here talking to authors from the Black Ink Book Festival. The Black Ink Book Festival is going to take place in New Orleans on June 20th. And we're so excited to just have everyone who we consider our VIP authors to be a part of these interviews. They are special to us because they wanted to talk to the audience before the actual event took place so that they can connect with you and build a fan base. That's what we're here to do. So the Black Ink Book Festival takes place June 20th at the Botanical Gardens in City Park. We invite everyone to come out and to be a part of it. It's going to be an amazing event. But tonight we have a number of authors who are with us. They're going to be here to just talk about their work, to talk about what inspired them, to talk about where they're going with everything that they're doing from a writing perspective. They're also going to tell you what's going to be at their table here in New Orleans, and to kind of share with you some of the things that are important to them as writers. So we're independent. Many of us are independent. And although this event is for all authors, and we have best-selling authors there, we have independent authors, we have poets, we have graphic novel writers, we have romance writers, we have everyone in every genre. It is important that we invite you personally to come out to support the work that we're doing, because we need you to buy our work, to review our work, and to share it with others. So let's bring our first author on the screen. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
So good to see you. So good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It feels like it's a little delay with my mic. Can you see me? Are you
yes,
good?
I can see you. They're good.
Okay. So hopefully that'll kind of catch up. It may be something with the internet, maybe not. I'm not sure if everyone can even see it, but I can see it. So I was just wondering if it's a problem. But we're really happy to have you here and to give you an opportunity to talk to us about what you're doing with your books. You are a 5 times published author, UK Lady Rhyme. Love that. You have a book of poetry out, Soul Tied to Tangle. We're going to put that on the screen so people can kind of take a look at this amazing cover, Poetry Reflections. Talk to me about your work. Tell me about yourself, and then tell me about your work.
Yes, so my name is Yvonne Cooper, pen name UK Lady Rhyme. I was born and raised in the UK and then came to the States. Writing is something I just love to do. Since a child, I just love to do. That's always something I did in my spare time, even as a child. However, as an adult, I started writing poetry. It really started in my preteens, but however, I just loved writing poetry. Started out just simple journal writing in my journal every day. And from writing in a journal, I literally, especially this particular book, is where I published my poetry book. And it's literally my memoirs, my poems, raw poems, just coming straight from the heart. And I put it in a formula book. And my goal is for especially women, but really anybody to be get something out of it and to get blessed from reading the words in the book.
You just told me that you've been a part of the Black Ink Book Festival for 4 years. This will be your 4th year, right? Or
yes,
the 3rd year?
This will be my 3rd year. I didn't go to the very first one.
Man, you know, it is so amazing to see people continue to come out and to be a part of this event. Um, you are from the UK, you live in the States, and you're going
Yes,
to travel here to New Orleans in order to be a part of this event. Talk to
yes.
us about what made you decide to come to this particular event. And then let's go in a little bit deeper into the poetry. What exactly is it? What type of poetry and what's your theme with your poetry?
Okay, so to answer the first question, I really heard of it by chance. Just really, I believe I was streaming and saw something about an ad. I'm looking for authors, and I said, "Wait a minute, let me just try." Because right now, at the time, I was keeping it just to myself and just writing for me and doing those things for me. But I said, this is time to share the work that I'm doing, which is why when I heard of it, I was super excited. It was my first time attending a book festival of any sort. And I was so inspired when I went there. And now it's just a tradition now where every year when we have the Black Festival, that's something my daughter and I look forward to going. And I've also invited other authors that I know to attend also. So it's just something I love to do. Now, the whole idea behind this particular poetry book, like as I said, it was a memoir, but it was based on my personal experience. I was married for 25 years and had a traumatic divorce. And from that experience, I learned so much about myself. So, as I said, the poems are very raw. There were things that happened before, during, and after the divorce that I literally just put on paper and just shared my heart out on the paper on experiences I was going through. Everything from dating after the divorce and the different ups and downs of that, to the feelings that I was going through before, things that I might not have known, but something was off. And I just shared that on paper, some things that I was going through. And then finally, towards the end, that inner healing that I went through as a process of just journaling, writing my thoughts. And it's like once that book was finished, I felt that I got my complete healing, and I got to know myself again. It was just so much the journey that I went through. So this book is really about the journey that I went through as a divorcee.
You know, we are healing ourselves and healing the community with this work. That's why it is so important. It's just not about making money, and it's really about being able to explore things within ourselves and share it with the world. And I tell you, to write poetry or any type of writing. I mean, I just think any type of writing, whether it's a children's book, it's a book of poetry, whether it's a novel, I always say you have to write, you have to create a contract with yourself. And that contract says that you're going to be authentic. And when you are authentic, the reader picks up on that. And that's why it's so important to do that. And so you're saying you're going through something difficult in your life, and the
Mhm.
writing helped you. It was therapeutic to help you move through it. So this is so important for those writers out there who are confused or not sure exactly why are they writing? Like, why am I writing? Why is this important to me? Well, this is
Mhm.
why, because it's so tremendously healing. So talk to me about, I know the other books you've written were children's books. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am, it is. So I'm an assistant principal. That's my career right now. And so I've been working with children for nearly 30 years. So I've worked in the classroom as a teacher, but as an administrator, I get to see things from a totally different perspective, from the parent perspective, teacher perspective, and the child's perspective. And what really, really stuck with me is from the child perspective. The very, very first book I published, I think in 2014, when I was a classroom teacher. And it was in New York at the time. I was at New York. And I remember one of my students, we used to take lots of tests. We're just in a testing era. We had finished one high stakes test. And then there was another one that we had to take. And this little girl looked at me and she said, "Miss Cooper, not another test." And my heart just went out for her. I said, wow, I've got to change the narrative so children will know that a test is not anything bad. It's just a way to showcase what you learn. So the idea really came from this little girl. And that's where I published my first book, Oh No, Not Another Test. So most of the topics are Oh No, it's from an Oh No series, because I want to turn a child's Oh No into an Oh Yes. So the first one is Oh No, Not Another Test. Then I had one, Oh No, Not Another Bully. I have one about during the COVID. A lot of adults had a hard time dealing with it, but I wondered from a child's perspective what that could look like, and often we don't talk to the child to kind of explain. So I wrote a book about that, about COVID. What is COVID? And it was an Oh No book about COVID, just to explain what it is, what's happening, how do we deal with it from a child's perspective. And all of my books, children's books, are like self-help books on a child's level from their perspective. So at the end of each book, there are tips that they can and how to handle their everyday situations.
I love that. Are you still with me?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay, there you go. So, I mean, I love that you are educating. I mean, teachers, principals, you're just so important to the whole fabric of the family dynamic, the community dynamic. And so you have such a firsthand account to understand some of the challenges that our young people are having. And so for you as a writer to say, you know what, let me put the put some emphasis behind the written word that we can connect with our young people. I was on the radio this morning and someone asked me about the fact that a lot of our young people aren't reading
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And she was asking me, what can we do? And I said, well, moving into more children's books, more graphic novels is key because our kids their attention spans are really short.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to kind of meet them where they are.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you did when you said,
Mm-hmm.
this is a challenge. A little girl saying, oh, no, no more tests. And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting my PhD. I want to say, oh, no, no more papers. I get that. You need to
Uh-huh.
write one for me. Oh, no, no more papers. Because it really is a struggle.
Yeah.
And so I love that you're doing so much for the children, but I also love that you made this big leap to poetry. But your name, UK Lady Rhyme, it sounds to me like you have always been a poet. Talk to us about who gave you this name and what does it mean to you to be called the UK Lady Rhyme?
Okay, that's a really good question. So, I really take pride in where I come from. My parent, especially my mom, and it was really on the whim. I went to this poetry also, and it was really on a whim. This was my very first time. I can't remember where it was, but it was this location, and I had to do a poem. I went up to do a poem, and when I did, the person asked me, "So, what is your name?" And I was like, "Well, okay." I'm thinking in my head before I go up on the stage. So, wait a minute, all my poems rhyme. They naturally rhyme. So I'm from the UK, and I said UK Lady Rhyme, and that just stuck with me. It was really no thought. It just came to me, UK Lady Rhyme, because most of my poems do rhyme.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I am so happy to have you here. For those of you out there, June 20th, here in New Orleans, we're going to have the Black Ink Book Festival. This is our fourth year. We have over 75 authors who will be here at the Botanical Garden. It's a free event. You can come in, meet all the authors, buy all their books, learn about their work. But we also will have reading in the garden where you will watch authors or listen to authors read their works. And we have this year a speakers lounge. And in the speakers lounge, we will have three-time Emmy award-winning storyteller Monica Pierre will be hosting panels, one with our featured authors and one also with our book influencers. So we have a host of book influencers. And I encourage everyone, if you're this year, what is so great is that we have influencers who have well over 100,000 followers. So when you see them walking through the crowd as an author, you need to say hello. You need to say hello. Here's my book. Read it. review it for me, because this is how we build a fan base. So I have worked extensively to make sure we have some of the best book talkers in the city. I mean, in the area. They're all coming from outside of New Orleans to be here. And so utilize that, leverage that opportunity to get in front of them. So we will have panels with our book influencers, panels with our featured authors. Then we're going to have the Black Ink film premiere. So we're going to be premiering 5 films this year, and it's all taking place right there at the Botanical Garden. So June 20th, we do hope everyone will come out. Also, Juneteenth, we're going to be at the Baroness for our martinis and manuscripts happy hour. So we invite everybody to come out from 6 to 9 as well. So UK Lady Rhyme, thank you so much.
Thank you
for everything that you're doing. I'm going to put your book up. I want everyone to see. This is just one of 5 books. And this one here is a book of poetry where she is reflecting on the things that she went through after a divorce. For all the women out there who's going through something tough, all the mothers out there who's going through something hard, who needs to be inspired, go by her table at the Black Ink Book Festival, pick up a copy, get it signed. That's always important. Read it, review it, and tell someone else to do the same. And we're going to do this over and over again until we all grow the strong fan base that we need in order to fill the shelves of book lovers all over this country and the UK. Right? So those out there, I'm going to give you a second. I didn't say this at the beginning, but you can drop your questions if you have any. We're going to hold out for about another minute. If you have any questions, you can drop them. If you're on YouTube, you can do it there. If you're on Facebook, you can do it there as well. You can also just give us some encouragement and let us know whether or not you're going to be attending the Black Ink Book Festival on June 20th. So we're going to give them a second, and let me let you give a few words of wisdom to those out there who are either poets or writing children's books. Give them a little bit of knowledge, something that helped you to get to this place.
Yes, I encourage you, just like I said, I started out just writing in journals, but I encourage you to please just share your ideas. You never know what somebody else will need. Your words, some women out there and men, they don't have a voice. They're suffering in silence, and just something you share through your writing can help them tremendously, make a difference and turn around their lives. So please use the gift that God has given you.
Excellent. So thank you so much for being with us. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Yes. I look forward to seeing you. Safe travels to the city, and I'll definitely stop by and pick up a book or 2.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, we have next up, we have another author, but before that, I want to do a couple of things. One, we have some promos of some of our amazing authors. These are kind of small, like short commercials that we've created for a number of our authors to help you learn a little bit more about their work. And these authors are all going to be at the Black Ink Book Festival. So I'm going to play 1 or 2 between each segment, and then we're going to go into our next interview. So next up, we have Charmaine Everly, and she is a romance novelist, and I'm so looking forward to talking to her about her book. And then don't forget, you can drop your questions or comments, and we can definitely see them on the screen and get you some answers. So we are live. So definitely do that for me. Drop those comments. Let us know. We have another author coming up after this promotional commercial. Okay. Having a little technical issues with the videos, but we're gonna get that straight. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm Michelle Jackson, and I don't think we've ever met. But I have seen your work. I have admired these amazing book covers and right pieces, wrong man. Okay, everybody, it's time. It's time to talk about romance. And it's time to talk about it with someone who is writing romance, the type of romance that I think so many women want to hear about. And that is overcoming the creepy guys. Okay. Right pieces, wrong man. I think I love this. So talk to us, Miss Charmaine Everly. Talk to us about your work. And thank you so much for being with us. This is so great. I love romance. I love what you're writing. And I love this book cover. So tell me about yourself. Tell me about your work and tell me what inspired this book cover.
Thank you so much, number one, for having me and for those wonderful compliments. I definitely appreciate it. I am a woman in my 40s, and I think that I lead a life that a lot of people I identify with, where you take the necessary steps to set yourself up for success in professionally. You feel whole and fulfilled by your friendships. In my case, I was blessed with an incredibly supportive and loving family. And, you know, taking care of professions early 20s, and then you hit 30s and you are seeking the final piece to what you feel may bring happiness, which is love, if that's something that you aspire to do. And so the main character is not based on me or written about me, but it is an experience that I have lived and friends around me have lived, where you're dating and you're trying to figure it out. And so Angie is the main character in the book, and she's been with her boyfriend for 2 years. She's in her late 30s. She is a physician. She has built an empire for herself. Um, and she doesn't quite feel the spark, but because of where she is with all of her other accomplishments, she is questioning if settling for certain parts is okay, right? And that's sort of the basis of the book, is balancing those things, and questioning what you're willing to give up, if you're willing to give up anything, or if you should, or if your expectations are too high. So those are some of the themes around the book.
I love that. So you are writing about a young woman. Oh, well, she's not super young, but she's not older, who is well accomplished, who has options, right? And who has to make some decisions about what does love look like for her. This is a story that, although I've been married 24 years, I did not marry until I was 28. And I have a lot of friends who are single, and they're all telling me, I'm 52, so my friends are 45 to 60 years old. And they're single, and they've been single their whole lives pretty much. I mean, for many years, dated a little bit off and on. This is a conversation that is so critical and so prevalent amongst women, is how do we meet love, especially after a certain age. When you're in your 20s, you're in your hot girl, phase of life. You can wear your little skirts, go out to the club, meet a guy. But when you get into those 30s and 40s, and you are looking at life from the perspective of someone who's trying to build a future, dating looks differently, right? So, talk to me about, what did Angie discover and what did you want the reader to learn through this story?
That's a great question. So, in Angie's case, her parents have been married for many years. Her younger sister is happily married to her college sweetheart. And so she's surrounded by examples of success, and questioning if that is luck, right? If that's something that is achievable for many or most, and wondering if, okay, if I have achieve success professionally, if I'm so blessed with a family, if I have, support in other ways, maybe instead of hitting an A plus, maybe I should lower my expectations to a B minus, maybe a C, right? When it comes to a life partner. And the person that she's with checks a lot of boxes on paper, right? He's successful. He's a high earner. He's handsome. And so there's pieces, and she's questioning, why don't I feel that long term spark? What am I missing? Maybe he's not as attentive. Maybe I don't get satisfied completely. Is that okay? Am I expecting too much? And so those are some of the things that she questions about herself. And as the story unfolds, one thing that unintentionally I wrote, because this is my debut work, is she never shrinks in any other area of her life. So she doesn't sacrifice her relationship with her family for his comfort. She doesn't shrink professionally because her partner at times makes her question or wonder if her professional endeavors or even aspirations are too lofty, right? And those are things that I identify with very much. And I think that a lot of women question, and there's been themes online, right, about like, you know, can you be soft? Can you be a boss? Do you know how to balance it when it comes to your relationship? And
Mhm.
I think that there's too much conversation around that. I think that for other races, that's not a question or a challenge, right? It's a celebration, and so those are some of the things that Angie deals with in the book.
So, I love that you're dealing with, or you're talking about this, and it's romance. And when we think of romance, it's all very whimsical, but there is a great deal for us to deal with when it comes to finding love and romance because of what it adds to our lives, right? I mean, the reality is that people who are in a relationship financially, there's a benefit. you know People who are in a relationship, I can now focus more on other things than trying to find someone. I saw a video interview of Snoop Dogg the other day, and they were asking him about being married, and he said, I would not be here, I wouldn't be successful, I wouldn't have what I have if it wasn't for my wife. And until you've kind of had that kind of relationship, you don't always understand it. And he said, hey, I made every mistake, I did everything wrong, I hurt her, I did all these things. She stood there, she stayed with me, and we've built what we have. And so there's a lot of great things to come when you can find the right one. But my question for you is, because this is your first novel, and my question for you is, how much of this is you? And I know you said this is not when we write characters, we build them on the people around us. When we develop these characters, we're looking at what mom is doing, what aunt is doing, what the lady down the street is doing. We're thinking about our past. We're thinking about our friends and their experiences. Talk to me about, where do you intersect with this character? Because I feel like when writers feel that it is authentic, it's personable, it has a different meaning. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So I've never been married. I am professionally very successful. I have struggled with staying in the wrong relationship too long, with hopes of the end goal being marriage and children, and feeling like, my time is ticking and things like that. And I have verbally said about past relationships, well, maybe I won't have it all, or in today's time, maybe this is an unreasonable expectation. My parents are high school sweethearts. They were married until my mother's transition to heaven. And it was a beautiful example, but I did question if that was something that I could see for myself or that would happen. So that theme is authentic to me. I also write about Black sisterhood, and I have some amazing, wonderful friends who are encouraging and supportive. And I have not experienced sort of backbiting or negativity amongst Black women the way that others report that they've experienced. I've observed it in others, but that's not been my story. So that part is authentic to me as well. And I think also like luxury living, appreciating nice things, treating yourself, supporting like Black owned designers. Those are things that are authentic to me. So there's a lot of pieces of me in it, not to overuse the word pieces. Um, but the story itself, there are parts where it's fun to write about because it's not me, right? So it is based on lived and observed experiences. Um, and so it was easy. I work in healthcare, so I didn't have to do a ton of research. It's based in New Jersey. That's where I'm from originally. So there were things where it was easy for me to write, even if it wasn't about me, because again, it's authentic to what I know and what I know to be true, which was fun
Yeah.
to write and fun to make characters come to life. And there are some things that I've never experienced that Angie has. And so it was just, it really is escapism. And I don't know if you've read, but I started writing during a leave of absence from work that I was forced to take after my mother's transition. I experienced depression, and I did not grow up writing all the time or dreaming of being a writer. I read a ton of romance. And so this was just sort of escapism and fun. And who doesn't love a happy ending?
Yes.
Right. So it was a really good experience. And it was a way that I feel my mom helped me through missing her a ton.
These books are therapy. We're healing ourselves, we're healing the community. It doesn't matter what you're writing. It's just that you're pouring out your passions on the paper and people are able to connect with that. So I celebrate you in talking about love because I'm a love bug. I'm always watching romance movies, and I don't read a lot of romance, but I watch a great deal of romance movies and shows and series, and this is something that just makes me feel good in the inside. And everyone loves, like you said, a happy ending. And so that's what's so great about it. So thank you so much. You're going to be at the Black Ink Book Festival. This is your first year at the festival. Is that correct?
It is. And I have to admit, as a long-term reader, and I mean, as far back as I can remember, starting back with like Beverly Cleary, okay, I have always had a book in my hand growing up, and really immersive in, I think in my teen years is when like African American contemporary fiction started to be a genre that was accessible. Other than that, it was more of the classic writers, Toni Morrison, Alice
Mhm.
Walker. And so I've been a fan for a long time. Seeing all of the festivals that are in existence, I did not know until I started researching. So I'm really excited to experience it. I've gone to a few as a fan now that I know about them. I fangirl over some of my favorites who, live in my Kindle. So I'm really honored, honestly, to be amongst that genre and to see people fiction, nonfiction, memoirs, children's books. I think it's a really beautiful thing to be accessible because growing up, I didn't have authors, like I said, that looks like me. I had Judy Blume, who I love. I had Babysitters Club, but I didn't grow up seeing African American fiction as a genre that I could read about. So it's really grown over the last 30 years, and I'm excited to be a part.
Well, we're excited to have you. Where are you coming from?
I live in Atlanta now. I'm a native of New Jersey, so not far.
Great, great, great. Yes. You're gonna love the event. You're gonna get an opportunity to meet Farrah Rashan, who is a best-selling New York Times best-selling romance
Love
novelist.
her.
Yes, she's gonna be there. She's always there, and I love that about her. She's always open to the community. She's always available to us, and so you can just learn so much from these writers. And so this is going to be wonderful. Romance is a great genre. It's a very hot genre too, and it goes from we want to see the hot cowboy to uh, now I'm seeing romance spring up in all the different industries. But creating the strong Black woman who's well educated, who has a lot going for her, and looking at this conversation that we're having behind closed doors about seeking the soft life and finding love and being able to um, relax some of this survival mode that we've been in, most of us, our entire lives. This is what we need to read about, and we need to see these stories, read these stories by people that look like us, because romance can look differently, especially when it comes to culture and the way, as Black women, we're perceived to be so strong all the time. I mean, like I said, I'm 52. I'm not strong anymore. I'm done. I'm done being strong. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to embrace the soft life, a term that I didn't even hear until the last 2 or 3 years. When I had a podcast, I had a bunch of women on, and everybody started talking about how they're ready for the soft life. And then we just got into this amazing conversation about how do we find that? How do we have that? How do we embrace it? And the fact that we even have to have the conversation doesn't make any sense to me, but we're so embedded into this survival mode, work hard, raise the kids, make everybody happy, and take care of the parents. There's so much happening. So I love that you're writing romance. Looking forward to meeting you. Looking forward to connecting with you at the event. Hope you can come out, everybody. June 20th, please stop by her table, pick up a copy of her book, this beautiful cover, learn from her, share it with everyone, buy the book, read the book, review the book, and tell someone else to do the same. Don't give them the book. That's the point in my whole little message. Don't give them your copy, but actually ask them to purchase a copy of their own. And so that's going to be important for us to build our fan base. So thank you so much for being with us. Drop a couple of tips for our writers out there, those who are trying to get to where you are, where you've actually published your first book. Share a little bit of knowledge with them.
I think not waiting until everything is perfect, using your resources. There are a ton out there to guide you through the indie publishing world. I was torn as to whether or not I was going to be independent or whether I was going to seek a traditional deal. The idea of doing it independently seemed overwhelming with having a full time career. It's been really fun. It's helped me balance. It helps me make sure that I'm not all work all the time. And so I would say don't wait until everything is perfect. Just do the thing and you'll get better as it goes.
Do the thing, everybody. That is excellent. Thank you so much for being with us. We look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, we'll see you June 19th at the
I plan on
authors
coming in
meetup.
on the
That'll
19th.
be great. Come in. We're going to be at the Baroness in New Orleans. We're going to have a meet and greet, food, wine, and just kind of chit chat. It's called Martinis and Manuscripts. So we're going to be talking about books and sharing. And I hope to see you on Friday, and then, of course, again on Saturday. So thank you so much, Charmaine. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for
being here.
having me, Michelle.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, everybody, we are going to roll into yet another interview, but first we have a promotional video. We want to make sure that we're promoting our authors and that we are doing everything that's necessary to ensure that they get this opportunity to connect with the audience. That's what the Black Ink Book Festival is all about. So next we have Sakisha Caston, and she's going to be here to talk about her children's book, Mommy Loves My Little Toes. I love that. So I'm going to fall off the screen, show the promo, and then we're going to go into our next interview. So thank you all, and be sure to drop your questions. Really looking forward to connecting with you. Hello, hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm sorry, Michelle. I cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear
No.
me, but for
Yes,
some
I
reason I'm
can.
muted.
You're not. I unmuted you. Let's take you off and put you back on for a second. Can you hear me now?
Are you able to hear me, Michelle?
Yes, I can hear
I
you.
cannot hear you. There's no sound
Okay.
at all.
Okay. Well, let's see what we can do. We're going to remove. Do me a favor, go out and come back in if you can.
How about here?
Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing anything at all. I apologize. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong.
Everybody, we are going to move forward with the interview. So we're going to get, I mean, this is live. So we often have some type of technology challenges. So please don't go anywhere. We're going to definitely get her on the screen with us. So give me a second. Um,
I cannot hear you.
There you go. So, everyone, we really do thank you for being with us. We hope that you would join us at the Black Ink Book Festival. It is going to be a fantastic event, and we're going to get Sakisha back on the screen. This is live, and so when it's live, there's sometimes you're going to have those technical challenges. So don't worry, stay with us. She's going to be back with us very soon. We should be having Ms. Mendoza, who will be with us as well to talk about her book, Verses. And so we do invite you all to come out to the Black Ink Book Festival on June 20th. So if you have it's a free event, it's at the Botanical Gardens from 11 to 3 p.m. You are welcome to come out, join us, meet all the authors, as well as be a part of our short film festival. So let's see if we can get her on the screen. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I apologize. I
Oh,
have no
great.
idea what was happening, Michelle. Thank you so
Oh,
much
no
for being patient.
problem. No problem. It's technology. We can't do anything about some things. We just we can worry about what we can worry about, but this is not it. We're not going to worry
Right.
about this.
Very good.
How's everything going?
Oh, pretty good. How are you? Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for being with us. It's been it's always great to connect with different authors and just looking forward to having this opportunity to meet you. So you're Dr. Caston. Talk to us about your book, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. I want everyone to take a look at this cover. It is adorable.
Thank you. That is my baby boy, who is now 20 years old and not a baby boy, a young man who's taller than me with a deep voice. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
is not
I've
there.
got one of those. Yes, I understand. I've got one of those. So this is so great. Tell us about your book. Tell us about your work.
Okay. So back in the day, long time ago, when I had my son, I used to read to him all the time. And that was even before he was born. When I was carrying him in my belly, I would read books to him. And once he finally got here and got old enough, I would let him go and pick a book every night for me to read to him before he went to bed. So after he got, of a certain age, he would always pick the same certain book. And I was convinced that it was because that book had a face on it that looked like his. And there weren't very many at that time. This was back, my son was born in 2006. There weren't very many back then. So it just made me think that, okay, there definitely needs to be more books with faces that look like my baby, because there weren't very many at the time, and I think that that's what drew him to the book. So I wanted him to know, and also all of our little brown babies to know, that they're beautiful as well, and that they should see themselves in the books that they read. So that's what prompted me to write the book.
And when did you publish your book?
2020.
Okay, so we're in COVID, and
Yes.
you are publishing a book, which is a time that a lot of people publish books. So I want to let everybody know how as sad of a situation it was to be in that, in that situation at the time, there's a lot of good things that came out of that period. A lot of great work came out
It
of it.
definitely did.
So I tell you, and with writing a children's book, you're really tapping into something that's needed, and that is being able to encourage our young people, but also allowing them to see someone that looks like them. Talk to us about the process of writing the book as well as illustrating it, or having it illustrate.
Um, the writing of the book was very easy. It took me little to no time to actually write the book, but it actually took me 7 years to figure out how to get it illustrated, published. The actual putting together of the book took quite some time, and half of that was me, and half of that was talking myself out of it. I'm not an author; I can't write a book. So I went back and forth with that for quite some time, but luckily I had a very good friend that I went to undergrad with who was an author as well, and she had self-published several children's books. And I had gone to her several times. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Tell me again and what you did. Walk me through it. And then it was someone would ask me, "How's the book going?" Oh, I'm not gonna do it. Change my mind. So then I would call her again, and she'd say, "Listen, you can do this." So she encouraged me, and it was so wonderful to have someone who could tell me, okay, yes, you can do this, even though you're not confident. It's not something that you do. It's not your career. Um, it's not something you feel the most adept at doing. But even so, just try it. I had no trouble writing it because I just loved having my son as a baby boy and enjoying everything and doing things with him. And the name came about because my mother was kind enough to come and help me once I had my son, because obviously I didn't know what I was doing. So I needed my mother's help. And during the 2 weeks that she came to stay with me, she said, I can remember I was giving him a bath in the sink, and she said, "Remember to wash him between his toes." And I said, "Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to get in between those little itty bitty teeny tiny toes?" So it just kind of stuck. And whenever I would give him a bath, I'd always play with his little toes, and he would just laugh. And I just found him to be adorable. So now he's got not so little adorable toes, but
Well, look at this, everybody. Is that not adorable? My God, everything about it is just amazing. And your illustrator, how did you go about finding your illustrator?
she did an absolutely amazing job because it
Mhm.
looks exactly like my son. I mean,
Mhm.
exactly. She just completely turned him into a cartoon. And I've known her since before my son was born and didn't think it. I don't know why she didn't come to mind, but it's not someone that I thought of asking. I asked quite a few people, who would you recommend? Do you know someone who's an artist? Could you guide me in the direction of finding an illustrator? I had people tell me, well, go to an art school, let a student do it. But I've known her for years. She would always do my henna tattoos for me.
Mhm.
And I don't know why I didn't think of her, why it didn't cross my mind. And one day we talked about it, and I said, would you be interested in illustrating a book? She said, well, I've never done it before, but let's give it a try. And it turned out absolutely amazing.
So I mean, because I have a graphic novel, and I worked with an illustrator here in the U.S. and young African American artist, and he had done a few things, but he had never done something like what I asked him to do. And
Hmm.
that process of working with them is so dynamic for both artists, like me as the writer and him as an illustrator. We're kind of, we need to do this. We need to tag team these efforts more, um,
Definitely.
and really inspire each other, to develop our tools, our skills. And I was just so excited with the final result of everything. But to know that, because it looks like a comic book, he did just
Yeah.
such a fantastic job. But choosing the illustrator is a big deal. It's a really
It
big deal.
is.
It can be
It
very
is.
expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You can work with someone who doesn't produce well, or you can't get in contact with them or start the project and they don't end the
Mm-hmm.
project. So
Right.
it's so great that you were able to find a good illustrator who understood your vision with the book. So
And she
how, I
was
mean, I'm
patient
sorry.
because there were times where I apologize. She was very patient. There were times when we had to go back and forth. This isn't quite right. Can we make
Mhm.
it this? And she was so patient and willing to make changes, and just allowed me to be as creative as I wanted to be, even though I couldn't put the pen to paper.
Right. And that's what's important. So you're going to be here for the Black Ink Book Festival. This
I
is your
will be
first
there.
year, is that correct? Or
No,
your
this
second
will
year?
be my second time.
Mhm.
Yes, second time.
I remember those toes. So absolutely. So you're going to be here for the second time. Talk to us about the first time. What did you enjoy it? What did you
It
learn?
was wonderful. I had no idea about it. And I was so happy to have been told about it and found out about it. But it was amazing to see so many authors in such a broad space. And they all had their books, and it was just amazing. It was very good to meet other authors. I actually met someone from in the same city where I live, so that was great.
That's
But I had an amazing time, and I'm happy to be returning again this year.
That is so great. Everybody go by her table, pick up a copy of this amazing book. It's just wonderful. It's a beautiful cover. I
Thank you.
know they're going to really enjoy it. And we have to do this. We need to show characters in books that look like us. And so I applaud you for doing this. And not just that, but I applaud you for basing it on your son. I'm a boy mom as well, and it
Oh,
is something about those boys
it
that
is.
just, oh boy, I can't explain that love. It's amazing.
It
But he's
is so.
20.
I
He's 20
agree.
now. Talk
He
to us
is
about, what does he
20.
say? What does he have to say about the book?
It was, I wanted to, when I first gave him the book. Well, obviously I cried when I got the draft or the promo. I just couldn't stop crying, and he just hugged me and said, "Mom, it's okay." Sorry, I'm gonna cry now. But I couldn't stop crying when I actually saw the book, because I had no idea it was gonna come out that way. And I initially did not even intend for the cover to. It was not gonna be my. I didn't intend to put my child on a book. It
Mhm.
just happened that, after trying to go through and draw someone and figure out who this little boy is, I said, "Here's a picture of my baby. You want to use this?" And it just went from there. I that was not the intent at all. But there is a museum here called the Harvey Began African American Museum, and they have a gift shop. And it's
Mhm.
the front of the gift shop is completely glass, so they have all the books um, showcased there. And his book is there. It's sold in the gift shop. And I said, we drove by, and I said, "Baby, what do you think about your face is right there for all to see." And he's just, "Mom." He's a little shy about it, but I think he likes it.
I love that.
And
I
we do
want,
events.
yeah.
My illustrator has an event every year where she showcases small businesses, and we always have a table. So
My son, when I wrote my graphic novel, I released it in 2022, and he's one of my contributors. And so I wrote a
oh,
book called Poppy Makes Cajun Popcorn Magic, and it teaches teens how to start businesses, because I teach youth entrepreneurship. And
mhm.
so it's like 49 pages. It's just like a little comic book. And I put him in it, and I wanted him to be a contributor because I didn't understand the young slang. So I would go to him and say, "What does this mean? What does that mean?
Right,
What do you think about this?" And, he wasn't as engaged in the writing component. He was like, "Mom, this is so cool that you're doing this, but I don't really
right,
think I can help you." But I was like, "You are helping me, because
right.
you're giving me the tools I need to engage and to connect with your generation." And so,
Exactly.
I told him, I said, "Your name will always be in a book as a contributor." And
Oh,
that's huge.
that's
And so
amazing. Yeah, that is absolutely amazing.
I
That's
just wanted him to
wonderful.
have that. So it's so nice to see you. It's so nice to meet you. Looking forward to coming by your table. Encouraging everyone to come out to the Black Ink Book Festival June 20th. Pick up a copy of this adorable book and meet the author and get it signed, and then read it, review it, and tell other people to do the same. We are building a fan base. It's going to be an amazing event. I'm just so excited to have you be a part of it again. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for inviting me and for allowing me to have a part in it. Thank you so much.
This has been great. Do you want to drop a few nuggets of knowledge to our writers out there, people who, just like you and just like me, who got to a point in the publishing process and I got afraid. I literally threw my hands up and was like, I don't think I'm ready to do this. So I know that feeling. And then it took something I saw on TV to kind of jolt me out of my fear bubble and push me towards that was the first book that was in 2010. Now, mind you, this was in 2010. So it was a long time ago. But it did, I needed something to push me to get that book out. And so if you can drop a few nuggets to our writers out there to keep them encouraged.
Sure. I think what finally pushed me to decide, okay, I'm going to stop hemming and hawing about it and actually just do it is I had to tell myself, think about why you wanted to write them or why you wrote the book. Because the words are already written. It just wasn't put together. So I had to sit down and say, Sakisha, why do you want to write this book? And I said, because I want all little ones to be able to see themselves and know that they're beautiful as well. And I think that was the thing that I needed. So even though you may not feel like, oh, it's not perfect, it's not this, it's not that, it's you and it's what you want to share with others. And it's so important to get it out because I've had so many people to say, you know, oh, it looks like my son or it's my baby's favorite book. I just had someone send me a photo the other day with them with the book making a little heart saying that was their favorite book. So you never know whose heart you're going to touch. So please just do it. Don't let anything stop you from your dream.
Oh, you are a sweet soul. I can feel it. Are you going to write any more books?
You know, I have been asked that question quite a few times. And as of right now, today, no.
You got a few more in you. Just
you never know. I'll never say never, but I haven't started on anything as of yet.
You wait until you get a grandbaby and you're going to be writing another sweet soul book. I promise.
I'm going to read the grandbaby this one.
Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Michelle.
I look forward to seeing you. So
I look forward to seeing you as well.
Yes, absolutely. And everyone out there, this concludes this series, but we're going to be back again on Monday with Rhonda Lawson. She's going to be interviewing another group of our authors. And then I'm going to come back on the 15th and the 17th to also interview our final two groups. And so we have, I think, 25 VIP authors. All of them are being showcased like Sakisha and the others that we talked to tonight. So thank you all for being with us. And we look forward to seeing you at the Black Ink Book Festival. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.